How you doing, Patrick?
How are you, Mike?
All
Great
right,
to
my
see you.
friend.
Where are you?
Awesome, man. Awesome seeing you as well.
You're in Florida or in California?
I'm in Vegas right now.
Okay.
How you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Awesome. Amazing. Just amazing.
Okay. So while we were waiting for you, I just reminded your career and your incredible figures and like 44 wins by knockout. I mean that you were the youngest ever to win to be a world champion.
Yes.
In heavyweight, and I was thinking that you are more than a champion. You are literally an icon of sports.
Thank you.
And I'm lucky to know you. And what impressed me so much about you is also the human being behind the champion.
Thank you very much.
And I'm always very impressed with your honesty. You're so honest about yourself, about your qualities and about your flaws, and this is really special. And your emotion and your sensitivity. You have an incredible, and people think that you are fearless, and you probably are at some point, but you are like a distraction machine. But you're also a very sensitive man. And in the documentary that I've seen, we see you cry many times. We see also a different side of you that is very emotional and very sensitive. And the first question I want to ask you, and I want to talk to you about it, is first of all, do you agree with that you are very sensitive also? And
yes. I don't know why I'm that way.
It's not a bad thing.
Why I'm that way? Yeah.
I don't
know why am I that way.
And do you think that it plays a role in building a champion? Do you think that champions are also very sensitive? And do you think it's important? Is it positive or is it negative?
No, it's extremely positive. You being a former athlete yourself, when you're in the best physical shape you could possibly be, you're so alert. You can hear things that normally you can't hear. And see things that you normally can't see. So that's why being in the best physical shape possible, and it allows you to rise to a higher occasion.
And do you think also that the fact that I think the champions are just giving everything. They don't hide. And when you have a goal, you just give everything you can. And of course, when it works, you are very emotional because you've given everything. But also when you fail, because sometimes guys fail, you're also emotional because you just gave it all. So emotionally, you're always involved. You think also that's one of the reasons why?
Absolutely, because as time goes on, and as you may know, success breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. And that's why you have to do it as consistently as possible.
Great.
To be the best, that is.
I would like to talk to you about your coach, because, you can imagine why, because I like coaching, and I think it's an incredible job. And your story of coaching is one of the most fantastic story I've ever heard, with Cus D'Amato, your first coach. Actually, there are two coaching stories that I love. One is in this movie, $1 Million Baby, but it's not a real one. It's a movie. And one is yours. And yours is a real one. Can you just talk to me about him and about the role that he played in your career?
He was everything. He was my mother, my father, my psychiatrist, my babysitter. He just wore so many different hats, He was everything.
Yeah, how did he help you? What did he do to help you?
He gave me the power of belief.
You said also, I remember that he kind of erased the Mike Tyson that was existing and created and rebuilt another one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He peeled all the layers. He tore me apart, then he rebuilt me.
It's nice to hear. And unfortunately, he and very sadly, he passed out when you were 19 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And his dream was to.
But at that time, I had already completed my test in the power of belief, and we already knew that we were on the path of being champions.
Tell us how he was motivating you.
Well, listen. one way he did it, he would say that you're not ready for this guy. You know, you're not serious yet. Your butt is getting too big. You're gaining weight. You're not this. Oh, he used to blow my mind. And I would work out. I would run like 6 miles every day. When I'm 14. And it's all about the mind and the power of belief. How can I fight at 54, right? At 54, and get my body in shape. I have more discipline than all the fighters. Yeah, I don't, I don't believe really that I'm the greatest fighter that ever lived, right? But I'm the most disciplined.
And this is him. He brought you that discipline. And what about passion? Because I also know that he was coming to you every night before you're going to sleep and talking to you about this sport, about the history of this sport. And in a way, was he making you become passionate about boxing?
No, I was always passionate before I met him, like a year or two before I met him. And then once I met him and I got the information from him about how establishing preeminence in the sport, I just went, I got extreme and went I got strung out, and I just went all full speed in boxing. Emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, it was all about fighting. It was all about the art of and get that perspective on fighting. Alexander the Great, Hannibal, who else? Genghis Khan. I just wanted that mentality of conquering.
And you said also that he gave you a lot of confidence, the way he was talking to you.
I was a megalomaniac at the time before I was 15 years old,
Was that important for you? Did you, I mean...
Yes, because I had low self-esteem when I first started life. And then he tore that all down. He broke that wall down.
You're always very emotional when you talk about him, right?
Absolutely.
Is it him, or is it all the things that you went through at that time?
No, it's what he's done for me. Look what he gave me. I'm on the phone with you. You know, really. This is what he gave me.
Yeah. From what I hear, he gave you the discipline. He gave you...
Yeah, he gave me the ability to associate with the best in the world at what they do.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah. I mean, to have a great team around you when you're a sports person makes a big difference for sure. Even though you have,
he was more than that. He was almost like an ancient Roman general or something. Total discipline. Everything about me was discipline, and just being extreme about my alternative. To always win, to be disciplined, to be fast, to be smart, and to be vicious.
Yeah, this is something you said also, that you were so good because you were powerful, but you were also incredibly fast.
Yes, but none of that stuff matters if you don't have discipline. People that study discipline is really important, because with discipline, it allows you to be the fighter that's better than you.
I mean, it's a great lesson for all the people listening. That's great. And probably also this, was he the first person who really believed in you?
Yes. Yes.
How important that is?
Listen, we all know what I learned in life. We all want to make someone happy. That's I guess that's everybody's goal in life. And I wanted to make him happy.
And proud, probably.
Absolutely. I want to be champ of the world, heavyweight champ. That was the biggest thing in the world too.
Let's talk a bit about pressure, because we know that pressure and sports at the highest level are very, very linked. and the champions are the best to handle the pressure. And
Yes. You
and
have to
I
have a
guess,
relationship with pressure. You know, Patrick, if you have a relationship with pressure, then you know that pressure is just a moment of winning and success. You have to have those moments of fear, you know, because fear, like I was saying before, that fear that God gave us allow us to achieve accomplishments that we normally can't accomplish under circumstances that fear is not involved. Fear is a great motivator for life, I believe. It's an enhancer.
it's a great answer.
And it's your friend as well. If you control fear, it could be your friend. Because if you don't control it, it can kill you and everybody around you. But if you do control it, it can feed you, it can heat you up, and it can do so many amenities for you. It's just your perspective of fear.
Yeah. So talking about fear, how did you feel just before the match? Because sorry, the match, my tennis life before the fights. Were you scared? Were you confident? And how did you deal with these expectations?
This is really interesting that you asked me that, Pat. I'm a chicken kind of guy. Really, I'm really a panicky guy, and I'm open before fights. I'm sweating and everything.
We lost your sound. I don't hear you, Mike, anymore. I don't know. There is no sound now. Maybe your connection. Do you have a good connection? Because I don't hear you anymore. Hi, Kiki. So no, for the moment, we don't have the sound. Sorry for that, guys.
I'm back.
Hi again.
How you doing, man? This is crazy, this phone system.
It's crazy, but you see, this is a story of your life. You always come back, and you always come back stronger.
God willing, yes.
Okay, so we're talking about the pressure and about how you were feeling just before entering the ring for a match. And I asked you if you were scared, and how did you feel?
Yeah, I'm always nervous and scared. I just never understood that. I go to the ring, I'm totally confident, but before I get in the ring, I might drop dead of a heart attack. And you know, I panic before a fight, but this is what I know from experience. Even though I'm afraid of my opponent, I found out he's more afraid of me than I am of him. And once I found that out, it was game over.
Oh,
I
so
know the power of fear. Like we explained before, I know the power of fear and what it can do. It is never to be underestimated.
And how do you deal with the pressure? Because, you know, when I say pressure, I'm not talking so much about the opponent, more about the expectations. You know, because when you're the greatest, when you're number one, everyone expects you to win all the time, and this is the highest pressure possible in life.
All right, Pat, check this out, Pat. You know what pressure is? Pressure is not being hit. Pressure is the thought of being hit. And the thought of being hit is 1,000,000 times worse than actually being hit. And that's what pressure is. The thought of failing is pressure.
I understand. Yeah, I mean, I think all the champions are incredible in that. I mean, all the champions, there are not so many. You're not so many. But, I mean, I can see it with Serena also because, you know, when you don't have the right to fail, it's the highest possible pressure also to experience.
But the best thing that can happen to a person like myself is that I do fail. Because by failing, it's going to allow me to ascend to the height that is so high that I can't even measure the length of it. My failures are my successes.
Yeah, this is a real, very interesting subject because you are the king of resilience, you know. I mean, you had ups that were incredibly up, downs that were incredibly down, but you always came back. and this is incredible. Now, I mean, you said in 2005 that your life was a waste and you were a failure because you were going through a tough time. And 15 years after, you look so happy. You look much more mature, much more composed. You have a great family. You bring back a great business. I mean, that's incredible.
You know, Patrick, in order to be a good entertainer, really, you got to be a good actor, too. Because that's what this is all about, entertainment. All sports, it's entertainment. It's all about entertainment. And sometimes you have to make your own comeback. You have to kill yourself, make it appear that you're dead to set up for your return. It's
That's
almost like the Count of Monte Cristo.
But that's a good thing that you guys have in boxing. We don't have in tennis so much. You know, you have this acting that you have in boxing that makes it so exciting.
So you see, John McEnroe, him, Jimmy Connors, those guys were entertainers.
Yeah, but it's a long time ago.
You see how Serena is when she goes, yeah, that's what we want. We want to see that passion. We want to see if they have what we have. Do they love this game as much as we love them? That's what it's all about. We want them to show. We want the fans want people to show their love and appreciation.
Yeah.
And that's what the entertainers do. Even if they're talking smack and all that, it's entertainment.
Yeah, but I would be very interesting also to understand how you find the resources to come back and come back so strong every time you come back.
Well, you know, Patrick, I want to be up more than anybody wants to see me down. You know, that's the real deal.
Oh,
I don't know if it's ego. I don't know. I want to be up more than anybody in the world want to see me down.
Let's talk about coming back. So you just made a comeback now. You came back to the ring. And first of all, thank you, because for the fans,
you, my brother. Thank you.
That was such an excitement. And I know you did incredibly well in the ratings. It was such a big success. Second, congratulations, because that was incredibly impressive. I mean, the transformation of your body in the last year to come back so strong was amazing to witness.
Well, you can see what the dealing with Serena. That's a commitment with weight. You know what I mean? Just keep on being consistent. That's how she lost the weight. Consistency. It kicks motivation's ass. Just like it's your life. You do it like you're breathing every day, this way, this. And that's when you become the best you can be. Every day, you got to do it like you're breathing and sleeping.
So the discipline that Cus taught you when you were young, you kept it. You still have it.
Yes, it ignites every now and then.
When you decide, you are like that. Yeah.
Listen,
okay.
I learned impossible is nothing for someone who tries.
So talking about your last fight, so just tell us a little bit about what you created. You created something called Legends Only
League. Yes, it's the Legends Only League. And it's really interesting because once I announced that I was going to do my exhibition, everybody, Jerry Rice, John Montana, all these other athletes, Floyd, they all want to be involved in some way. And our first show was a record breaker. And so now everybody's interested in being involved with us in our whole organization.
So how did you feel about being on the ring again after so long?
It was interesting. I felt really good. I felt confident. I felt that I can do it again.
So do you want to do it again?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be better this time.
Yes. That's a good news. So what was your motivation to come back? Was it this league that you created and you thought, I want to be the first one to start that league?
Hey, it turned out that way. But my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, came up to me and said, Mike, I ain't going to ask you this, but people want me to know, you want to fight again? I said, I don't want to fight. And then I said, who? Hey, I said, who do they want me to fight? And then he said, 1 minute. And he calls on, he said, Bob Sapp. I know Bob Sapp. He's a monster and stuff. And I said, okay. Well, can I box him? Can I box him? He said, okay. I said, ask him, will he box me? And he said, you want to do Marcus the Queen? He said, yes. And I said, I'll fight him. And I don't know what made me say that. And then it went from him to Tyson Fury to Shannon Briggs and then to Roy Jones. And that's how it started.
So is it only about boxing, or are you gonna? Because the idea.
Everybody, we got football, basketball, tennis, but the rules will be different. The rules will be different. The tennis people won't be too stuffy. You'll be able to talk shit back and forth. You can break rackets, and it's like freestyle. You can do everything but fight. Anything but fight. That's the only thing you can do. Because then they can see the passion of the players, and that's more exciting when you can see that passion. Because
I agree. I agree with that.
Contaminated, yes. The passion just is so enthusiastic. People get I don't know, they get mesmerized by it.
Yeah, because Mike, people are watching sports to feel emotion, and you guys, sports people, are so passionate about what you're doing. So it's a way to share that emotion. If the players or the boxers and the tennis players are able to share that with the crowd, that's amazing. And that's the whole.
I agree with you, but you know what I realized about fans too? From my experience, they want to see you to go to the brink of destruction and come back. Somebody that destroyed their life and bring it back, that's an interesting person.
Yeah, that's a great concept. Sure.
Because life is basically the willingness to die. And I believe the higher the risk, the higher the reward. And that's how my life functions.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about tennis.
All right. That's what I love now.
And of course, Milan. So one of your children, Milan, is playing.
Yeah.
And she's a good tennis player, and she's talented, and she's very motivated to become a professional. So first, how much do you enjoy being a tennis dad?
Listen, it broadened my horizon, and I'm just so grateful I had the opportunity to be involved with guys like you and you meet everybody, and it changed our life. Our whole life has changed over tennis, and that's just hard to believe. I thought we were doing well and everything that we're doing, making money and everything, is not bigger than my daughter playing tennis. Can you imagine that? She's bigger than everything in our life now. Just because.
Why? Because you love that sport, or because you see her?
No, I see her transcending into something that she never would have before if she never got involved with tennis. Okay. She has confidence. At 10, 11, 12 years old, she has a great deal of confidence in herself.
So, I think everyone wants to know what kind of tennis father you are. So are you very invested in the training, or only supporting her?
Listen, I support her, and when she allows me to, I put her into good training method. Sometimes I see her physically, by nature, she's thinning down. She looks thinner and taller. But I'm a strong believer in you putting it in every day, an hour or two every day before you start your day. Get 2 hours of cardio, an hour and a half, then your day starts. You got to win the morning in order to win the day. You win the morning, you got the day.
Do you teach her discipline?
Yes. She's disciplined on her own. She gets up, she cooks her meals, she takes a shower, she goes right to the gym every day at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And she stays there till, like you may know, around 4 o'clock. And she's very diligent, and she wants to do this. I think something about this tennis gave her an ego. Somebody applauded her and said how nice she was, and now she dedicated her life to it. I'm very proud to have somebody in my family understand that part of life where sometimes things don't go your way. And that's what life's about, because it's not going to go your way, but you have to handle your situations and your misfortunes. And that's what discipline does. You don't win every match, but you can learn and you can handle defeat better than you did if you were a sore loser. I used to be a great fan of sore losers, but they exposed themselves as being sore losers. If you're a sore loser but don't expose yourself as being one, then you're a great player. You have great control of your discipline. Did that make sense?
Yeah, completely. 100%. It's all about learning to get better. Whenever you lose, you did something wrong, but you have to understand what. And so next time, if you accept to see yourself, understand your mistakes, then next time you have a good chance to do better, because you're going to work on that, improve, and then you come back to it and you do better next time.
You know what I learned from my mentor, Cus D'Amato? It was like, you have to be totally objective of your feelings when you're in the ring. If that's your mother, your sister, your brother, your son, knock them out. Total control of your emotion. And that's what his thing. No feelings involved. But then you have to have feelings involved to provoke that passion. But no feelings, computer, it's just, this is the job. Destroy, sophistication, move your head, counter. There's no feelings involved, just passion.
Easy to say, not easy to do.
No way. It takes years and years to do. It didn't happen overnight. It's studying and training your mind. People. That's why meditation is magnificent. It puts you in a relationship with your personality, and you become more aware of who you are and where you're going.
How do you deal when she plays matches? You're not too emotional? Because I had my daughter play tennis and I couldn't handle it.
Listen, this is how it is sometimes. I just go with her to let her know she has somebody there. Because I don't sometimes, it doesn't bother her because she's at the level where other parents can yell and scream and she won't be affected. But she needs to know she has support there, that nothing's going to happen to her. And that's how it is if I'm there in her work. Nothing's going to happen to her. She needs that feeling of relief that I'm protected. All women, even men, we all need that belief that we're protected and we're going to be all right. That's just a human nature trait.
Yeah, so support and protection.
Yes.
And the fact that you're proud of her, she probably feels it. Do you tell her?
I tell her all the time, but I mostly tell her that she needs to believe in us. So I try to tell her the power of belief, And I said for that hour or so, or whatever time limit you're playing on the court, you have to contain your power of belief. You have to become you have to become even like a mutineer. Your eyesight has to be more focused. Your hearing has to be more focused. Everything has to be at a high pitch level. I've been teaching her about relaxation, and now she's not as tired because being tired is a frame of mind. I know people nowadays in Mexico, the whole tribe of people, they run 100 miles a day. So that tells you that being exhausted is in your mind. You can prepare your mind to go 10 hours, 20 hours. We have to have the relationship with our inner confidence.
What do you think is important for her to succeed, in order to succeed in tennis? What she'll have to do in the next years?
It's all intellectual and desire. They have to desire. There's nothing like the fighting heart and desire. You have to want this more than you want your life. That's what contributing is all about. You have to want this idea more than I want to exist. And that comes in time. She's not ready for that yet, but in time she'll understand that. And maybe she compare herself with the gods. Some people, they're so successful they compare themselves to the gods. Their confidence get that high. I wish she do it because it's only meant for certain people to do it. Like some people have too humble to do it. But it has to be said, the gods of war, the gods of competition, they have to hear you. They have to hear your prayers. It's just like Jesus, Muhammad. It's just like the prophets of war. They have to hear you. They need your prayers. They have to bear witness that they exist.
Fantastic. Just a few words about tennis again. What do you think? We started this UTS.
Yeah.
You know about it because you left me a great message actually about it last summer with the idea to make tennis, to propose a different tennis. We keep the tennis the way it is, but we also propose another one that is probably more faster, more dynamic, probably more emotional with a lighter code of conduct, more immersive with coaching, with interviews.
More entertainment. More entertainment. That's what they want, entertainment.
So tell me what you think about that, because you told me on a message, but I'm happy to have your view from someone coming from another sport.
I just think what you have going on is amazing, and it's all about like I was expressing before, it's all about consistency. When I was at you, everything's consistent. They constantly move, and emotion relieves tension, and that's the best thing about sports: the constant movement, the perpetual motion of a human being. Like you see, I was watching Our Planet, and I was watching these African wild dogs, and they wait till you fall of exhaustion. They just wear you out. They never stop, a slow pace, and they just wear you out till you fall down. And then they start eating you. And that's what tennis is about, breaking somebody's spirit in order to win. You have to break his spirit. He's not giving in. And like Babe Ruth said, it's hard to beat somebody when they're trying. So, and they won't quit. So you got to keep being psychological. Because people don't give up. Some people are like you. They rather die than lose. So you have to be psychological and emotionally attached to yourself.
Okay, so I hope that next time you'll come to watch some of the UTS matches, and I hope also.
Listen, I never fail. Whenever your camp is open, I come. I'm the #1 fan to your camp, brother.
Thank you very much. That's so nice. Yeah. So and you said also that next match maybe you'll play in the next match you'll do in south of France.
Yes.
The next fight.
I'm anticipating that. I would like to do that. A long time ago, I spoke to one of the sports champs or someone, and he was talking. He said, and this is years ago, like 2005. He said we would like to have a fight here, but a really big fight.
Let's do that. Okay, great. Well, last question. Someone asks, and I want to ask you: do you know where you come from originally?
Yeah,
from Africa.
My DNA says like 45% is Congo, right? Yeah, from the Congos.
Okay. So someone asked me,
my ancestry is the Congos. I thought it was something going to be real glamorous and stuff, and I'm a real Congo guy. I guess that's why I'm the way I am, huh? That's where I get my aggressiveness from. Those guys are pretty aggressive over there. They're real strong. Okay. They're real strong people, and I'm really proud to be a part of that heritage. When I heard that, I was ecstatic. I was really proud. I was understanding why I'm the way I am now.
It's interesting because also Serena had did the same thing as you. At some point in her life, she wanted to know where she was coming from originally, and she also made a lot of research and went to visit Africa to understand her roots and why she was like that. And she told me that when she realized what her ancestors went through, she felt she was incredibly strong and almost unbeatable. So she said it helped her.
I feel when I found out. Great deal of pride.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Mike, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure as always.
Cool path.
See you soon.
How are you, man? Hey, get the fight.